What is up, you beautiful people? So today I want to just do a little bit different video than I usually do. I usually do more just full on gameplay with me just having fun. But today I want to bring up some points that I've seen a lot in the community and kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on it. As someone who has played video games since, how old was I? Probably like 4 years old. Started playing on the Wii. So getting started right off the bat, the first thing I wanted to bring up is the whole strike, or the rage bait as I put it. Because to me that's all it is. Of, well, support is the easiest role. And it takes no skill, nothing at all that stuff. That's seen all around the community. It's kind of died off a little bit now. But I think I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of 2 cents towards it. And so for me, I think it's stupid. Like just in general, because you look into it and it's like to me, from an outside point of view, as somebody who just plays tank, I just play tank, that's all I play really. It's just so stupid, because realistically every single role has their things they do. No matter what you say, no matter what you word it as, they have things they do. Whether it's support and you are healing the team, staying in the back line, trying to stop divers, because I think that's one thing, is a lot of, as Marvel Rivals brought in a lot of new hero shooter players, and as somebody who's played Overwatch 2, or not even Overwatch 2, Overwatch back in 2016, I know the difference of how things go. And each role has their big main thing they do, but then they have a bunch of little stuff. For example, tank. Now, tank is a very easy one. Their main thing is to take space. But you have to also look into it, and they also sometimes, it's harder now in Marvel Rivals because there's only one tank and the other team can have two. So you have to work on taking space. But another thing is peeling for your support. Now, this usually is a job for the DPS to do, but sometimes tanks just do it best. Like, for example, Emma Frost. Emma Frost is extremely anti-dive, like very, very well at it. Because if like a Spider-Man, for example, dives your backline, if you're able to get off that choke slam combo, that Spider-Man's dead. He's back to the spawn. Like, because he's in your backline, his supports aren't going to be able to help him. So it's a lot easier with two tanks, obviously, as you could probably imagine. But another thing is, say, for DPS. DPS main role is to get killed. I know people talk about, oh, well, I can do the most damage, I did this and stuff, but there's more to it than just damage. It's more than just the big number. The main thing I feel as DPS you want to have is high final hit. If your TPS doesn't have high final hits, likely he's doing something wrong, or someone else on the team is doing something wrong. It can be a big snowball effect. But that's the main thing for DPS, is to do the most final hit. But at the same time, like I said before, you're gonna want to peel for your support. A lot of times it still depends, like the character you are. Like, example is Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic is extremely good at stopping and helping your support. But at the same time, you can be people like Spider-Man and say you see, I don't know, another Spider-Man going for your support. If you're able to get him and force him back, that helps the entire team. Because Spider-Man jumps back, he can't get into your backline right away. He has to be healed, which in turn, those healers, if he doesn't go for a health pack, either way, if he doesn't go for a health path, there's still 5 people or 1 person down. Those healers, if he does go to the healers to get heals, then that healer has to focus on him for that split second instead of the tank or the other DPS, which Once again, it can create a snowball effect. Now, for supports or strategists, I call them supports, the main thing, obviously, as you can probably guess, is healing. They're I'm pretty sure the only one in this game that can heal. I don't believe any other roles has something that helps heal. Unless you count shields, which Mission Fantastic does and such like that. But this is at the same time as support, strategist, whatever you want to call it. You have to also make plays. Now, the easiest example is Cloak and Dagger. Sometimes you do just want to, if you know your team can survive for a quick second, you switch to Cloak and push out, I forget what it's called, his like big, giant like blanket thing that she shoots forward, which can blind him. Because that does a surprising amount of damage. And it blinds them. So if you hit even one or I'd say two probably is the best one. 2 people with it, that's 2 people that have a big chunk of damage, so their supports have to do it. Plus, they're blind for, I think it's like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that. It's fairly low, but it's still there. And doing that, you kind of, you realize that there's a lot more that goes into it than just the basic stuff. Everyone needs to have their role. They need to do their job, because if they don't do their job, it can very easily fall apart. Now, sometimes you can just steamroll the other team because the other team is doing way more mistakes than you are or your other teammates are, which is something kind of, that's another topic, but it still is, you gotta realize that every role has its job. Every role also has easier and harder characters. Like for me, the thing for tank is very basic. His kit is very basic. Now he needs a little bit of positioning, but compare the thing to, say, the Hulk. The Hulk is pretty high skill floor. Well, it's one's a lot easier than the other. For DPS, you could be, let's see, Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is extremely easy. Anyone can play her, even if you don't. A child could play her, a literal child. But at the same time, you go somebody like Black Panther, and he's extremely hard to use. And then the final example is Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger, in my opinion, is the easiest support to play. But if you go, say, Loki is a lot harder to play. So I wouldn't consider Loki easy, but I would consider Cloak and Dagger easy. You see how it kind of goes there? It's very much, some are easy, some are hard, which that's what the developers meant to do. They wanted to make it some easy, some hard, so the less experienced players have those easy characters to play, and the more experienced characters have those hard characters that they want to master. Now, the other thing I was going to bring up quickly is people online, I think it's so stupid. They bring up, oh, is Marvel Rivals dying? To put it simply, fuck no. That's as simple as you can put it. Fuck no. I can even go look up right now what the Steam numbers for Marvel Rivals is. Because sure, is it lower than usual from its all-time peak? Because its all-time peak was just after Season 1, which is 644,000. Now, right now, at the time that I am recording this, it has 134,000 players. Yes, that is a big drop. But you look at other big games. For example, Helldivers. Helldivers 2, that was a very big game at the beginning of last year. Helldivers 2 peaked at 458,000, almost 459,000 players. Right now, Time of recording again, it only has 98,000, almost 99,000 players. Newer players or people in general, they want to make it, whether it's a newer player who doesn't realize that, hey, this isn't actually what's happening, or an old, say a YouTuber that's trying to clickbait, get you to watch the video, you know, all that stuff. Everyone knows that stuff. But that's just how it is. Like, you're not gonna have these things happen that just it's hard to talk about as somebody who's starting a YouTube, because I do not like doing it. I don't like clickbaiting. I want to put out there, hey, this is what's in the video, this is what it's gonna be. Marvel Rivals, or as I was saying, every game, no matter what game you have, other than maybe like Counter-Strike, like I feel like that's one of the only games that actually just refuses to die. They will have a huge jump in players or the peak, usually at the very launch, and then it drops down, usually by quite a large number. So you just have to take into that consideration. Remember, it's like, if you're enjoying the game, play it. Simple as that. If you're enjoying it, play it. Sure, you can look on X or Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all this stuff. You can have your 2 cents about stuff. Because, I mean, I'm in America, so freedom of speech and a whole thing. But it's something you just gotta do. Remember that games are made, or not, maybe not made anymore, but certain games are meant to be played because they're meant to be fun. Back when I started, that's what games were oftentimes made for. They're made by quote-unquote nerds for quote-unquote nerds. They're made to have fun. So, if you can take anything from this video, I would take to sometimes just sit back, realize it's just a game, have fun. If you're, sometimes I even do it. I just turn off all the types of chat. I'm like, you know what? I'm not in the mood today. Bye-bye. And maybe sometimes that's what you should just do. If you just want to have a chill day, screw around on a game, turn off chat. If it's like a big game, PvP game, turn off chat, turn off voice chat, and have fun. But that's all from me. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you liked the video, like it. If you disliked it, go ahead and dislike it. Come join me at twitch.tv/xottg. I've been having a pretty inconsistent schedule because of allergies, but, well, allergies and getting a new job, so it's been iffy, but I try to do it whenever I can. And have a wonderful rest of the day, and bye-bye.